For my very first video to actually start stating what you should do for this business and how to be able to actually start getting money out of it is well, it's this video. So I think the very first thing you got to do is figure out what type of side business you want to do. A lot of people go different routes, but I guess if you're deciding to do this is why you're watching this video and you want help on it. So the very first thing you want to do is you got to make sure that you're comfortable with talking to people. I'm not very social, so this business actually it takes a lot out of me having to speak to people. I really don't like speaking to people. It makes me really nervous. So in a way, it's actually something nice because I can stay outside of my comfort zone a little bit to be able to do this, which I think is fine and good. If you want a business partner, you got to make sure that there's somebody that's going to be really trustworthy and somebody that you can always rely on. And like, if anything bad were to happen to the business or between you two, you would still be able to like handle this business and nothing bad could really happen out of it. So you have to be really smart and careful with that. So maybe you'd want to pick a close one. For example, my business partner is my girlfriend. She's helped me a lot with this business, and she's helped me start it, and I've proceeded with the rest of this business. Another very important thing you got to do is, I think, in my opinion, it is best not to get quote unquote vendors from Instagram or wherever you'd find them. I do have a place where I contain all of my, not vendors, but I use an app instead where I get all of my items. And out of these items, I resell them. Speaking of that, if you buy a vendor, there's also a lot of risk to it. So when I first started this business, I paid for a vendor using one of these Instagram links, and when I did it, I had to pay 45. It was like 25, sorry, for me to speak to them, and then I had to pay extra money depending on like what type of item I wanted. So there's also like that, like you have to pay for the vendors, and you never know if the vendor is going to be reliable or if you're even going to get someone to talk to. Luckily, I did get somebody to talk to, but the problem with that is they sold me AirPods for $45, and the profit was really low when I got my first person to buy something out of me. I also later realized something else that will be on some other video on how to deal with on what to do with your products. I will most likely do that tomorrow. So that's something. Another essential thing is, once you're done finding an app that you trust or finding a website that sells these types of items that are going to be like really realistic and look one-to-one and you can sell them, that's when you want to start putting your money into this business, into beginning to do that. And also once you have a good understanding of how to talk to people and once you're ready to promote it. So once you get your item, the very first thing you want to do is also get some other apps. For example, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, those apps. The issue with this business is there's a lot of competition because everybody is doing this. So you also have to just be careful about that, because this business is something that's really high in competition, and it's really hard to sometimes find someone that will buy something out of you or will do something. So you always have to be on the lookout for that. So there's that too. Something I recommend is keeping a track of what you've spent and what you've gotten back and what is actual profit. And at the beginning of this business, you probably want to save this money that you have in profits, just in case. I don't think it's fine I think it's okay if you want to spend it, but I think personally when the business starts, it's going to be slow and you probably wouldn't want to spend your money right out off the bat when it's not like a reliable source yet to use. So there's that. So your first month of reselling is legitimately going to be researching a lot, getting everything set up to track where your money is going to go and all of that. I recommend using a Google Sheets if you would. So getting apps to sell, being organized with the money that you're going to use, where you're going to keep your inventory, and what else you'll need in the future. So for example, when you use an app like Mercari where you have to ship out an item, you'd probably would want to buy a label printer. I bought one for, I believe it was like $80. I bought a label printer. It came with a case, not a case, a stand to keep the labels organized, and it came with labels as well. And then I got a pair of free labels from this website. I completely forgot what it was. If I do find it, I'll put it down somewhere. Now, there's another issue with this business. It's that you want to know how you want to excuse your items. For example, when you buy a pair of AirPods, you don't want to like tell a person that you bought them for cheap and then like sold them off, or you don't want to lie to them and tell them I don't need them anymore, or I don't know, something like that. You wouldn't want to like lie, because that's not lie, but like you have to be like, you have to find something that's something that can work, an excuse that can work. Because let's say I give somebody a pair of AirPods and I tell them something like I don't need them anymore, and then I have a new pair of AirPods that I'm selling like the very next day. It's like, it's something that's really unreliable, because then if they see it or they want to buy off you again, then it's like that. If you want recoming customers, you want to make this sound like a real business, and you don't want to make excuses about the items you sell. That's what I'm getting at. Another part of this is how you want to do it, because if you want to do it like a side business and you want to sit around and kind of wait for the sales to come in, it's a little bit slower when that happens, because yet again there's a lot of competition. But if you were to set up, let's say, Instagram accounts, set up, I don't know, TikToks, YouTubes, I guess, showing off your items, promoting your items, showing reviews of people that have bought your items, it makes you seem more like a real business, and you'll probably get more sales out of it. So that's another thing. Another thing is your profits. For example, these pair of AirPods, they're AirPods Pro Gen 2s. You would find them on Apple for $250 roughly, or I think it is $250. So you can't sell them at $250, because if you were to sell them at $250, somebody would much rather go to the store and buy them. So you'd have to sell a little bit cheaper. You also don't want to sell too cheap, where you would not really win any profit out of it. So make sure, what me and my girlfriend have set up is we want to make at least $20 in profit, so we can always, like, I guess, spend that 20 on, let's say, getting a new item like a clone or something, or you never know. So that's another thing that you have to be wary about how to get profits properly. Another thing is business cards. So if you want to set this up like as if it were a real business, like me and my girlfriend do, your best idea would be to get some business cards. So I usually set them up in Canva. I know some people say that it's bad. These are kind of damaged. They're old. Those are like my very last ones. I've bought twice from Canva, which have I bought 200 in total. I guess I've gotten 200 cards, but I've bought 100 cards for $22. So I did that twice. So it was like $44 for 200 cards. An issue with that is sometimes people don't actually read the cards. So then you want to get something like a dot card, for example, right? Where it's a digital card, and you scan the QR code and it takes you immediately to your profile, to a profile they have. Or you can use the NFC and tap it on the phone, and it immediately takes you to your page again, where it's going to show this type of stuff. So an issue I have with this is that I bought this dot card and I'm returning it, because it didn't work. So I got it because I kept on seeing advertisement for it, and I was like, oh, it looks really good, and I don't know, it's just a dot card. I don't know. It seemed interesting that I could only pay $22, the same I paid for 100 cards, and probably got more attention from people. Um, by the way, you also probably would want to, you would probably want to do a little discount code. For example, for my cards, I tell them to save the card if they ever want to purchase from me, because then they'll save 5% or quote unquote $5 out of a purchase that they want, any purchase. I'm sorry, I don't have a place to keep my cards, so I just keep them in here. So that's probably something you'd want to do. So I have to order a new set of those. But using a card like dot cards, you have to do a good amount of research, because the QR link doesn't really work. Setting up my profile was hell. It didn't even let me load it. I've done it on so many devices. I've had so much issues just trying to even get access to it, and every time I would ask for help, it would send me straight to their website to buy a new card. So that's something that really bothered me, because it didn't help me at all, and it was kind of a waste. And on top of that, if I'm able to return it, obviously, but they'll charge you like a $5 fee because it's because you opened the package. So that really sucks. Like, I think if there's an issue with the card, there shouldn't be an extra fee to it. So I think, me personally, do your research on if you want one of these type of cards, and like actually find a card, because some people said, after I found out this issue that I couldn't even open the damn website, I found out that people have issues with scanning the QR codes, like I just said a little bit earlier, and the NFC code sometimes just doesn't work. And if the person's phone ever turns off, like if they just like turn it off because that's it, then its reaction is done. When they turn it back on, it just your whole profile disappears, and they even promote their profile in order to make you purchase a new card. Not, you don't purchase the card, but for like the customer to see it, and they'll be like, oh, I want another card. So it promotes their business even more. So that's an issue. They do claim that they don't try to push or promote the dot card, but that's seeable when you have a profile, according to other people, because I never was able to open a profile to begin with. So just make sure you do research if you ever want to get one of these cards. So I have to make money back in order to like pay this off, which I will soon, in a sale of AirPods. So keeping track of everything is really essential. I use Google Sheets, like I said. So that's the main thing. How you're gonna handle the business. How are you gonna handle the business? What type of items to get? What items you need? I don't know, just everything I've listed prior to this. Right now, what I have set up as my little office is I got a table that my parents don't use anymore, and I've put everything in here. Like my laptop's here. I usually charge it, but I'm not charging it right now. It's really old, so these things right here are like normal. I'm sorry. I keep this digital notebook on me. I have to return this. I keep my cards in that corner, and then I keep kind of an organized area. So I keep all of my items that I'm selling right here. For example, I have AirPod Maxes that I'm selling. I haven't been able to sell them, but it's just I have to promote it more, I think, and maybe I'll sell it. I have this YSL bag that I'm gonna ship out. I have a Creed cologne that I'm still waiting to sell, and I have 2 AirPods that just came in. And then I had the label printer there, if you didn't see. So the reason I'm not using the camera is because I'm recording using my phone. I feel a little bit more comfortable speaking to my phone. I feel like I'm not looking at somebody, so I don't feel that nervous feeling. So just be careful with what you purchase, your alibis or like reasonings to what you're selling, and that's about it. Keeping track of where the money's at. You always want to do that. And if you guys ever want to know where I get stuff from, I could always help you out. I'm willing to. But yeah, so one bad thing is, for example, many people tell you not to use DHgate, and I can alibi for that, because the bag I bought and the cologne I bought, they're both, you can notice that they're fake. The box, the packaging of everything just looks off. I even had a speaker before, but I just sold it. I sold it for the same price I bought it for, which is why I'm saying that sometimes you don't want to buy from there because the quality is going to be bad. I know maybe you'll find something good, but the chances of that are a little bit slim sometimes. So that's why I'm scared to buy off there a lot of the time, and that's why I normally stick to AirPods. If you want something safe, I think that you guys would probably want to stick with AirPods. So where I buy them from, they sell any type of AirPods, but I never buy AirPods Pro Generation 1s because those have always happened to have an issue with me. I think I have a pair that I never sold, and I just ended up using them. It's because one of the, like, what do you call them? One of these things, they stopped working completely, and then the right one was the only one that worked. And, yeah, so it was just, like, not worth buying them anymore because I had a customer that also had that issue. And I have another customer that said that it sounded a little bit fake. But the issue is that we've always tried them, so we don't know why the person would say that. I bought the AirPod Maxes from the same person, I believe. The reason that these haven't sold was I had a customer, and so I ordered them, and they came in. We did the interaction. My girlfriend did it for me, actually. But the guy didn't have, like, their phone updated, something like that. So they wouldn't connect, and they were, like, Apple called them fake. So that's, like, when he tried to connect to his iPhone, it was stated that they were fake. So that's why he didn't want them anymore. And then the next person from the same place also said that the AirPods sound fake and wanted a discount. So that's an issue. So one thing I do is I have an Instagram where I show everything. I'm pretty sure I have it here. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So I posted a video earlier showing all of my items and everything I sell. Obviously, maybe you'd want to invest some money into trying to promote these items to make sure people could see them. I try to. I genuinely don't know how Instagram works when they're promoting things because I paid $2. I think I paid $5, but it gave me like some $2 fee, and it never, like, nothing ever went through. I don't know, and I just never got anything out of it. So it was like a waste of $2. But I mean, I got it back later on. But people constantly did this type of stuff, so I announced that I need a payment before I send items. Obviously, if you're doing this as a side hustle, for example, just waiting on offer up or something like that, you wouldn't deal with this issue really. But for example, if you want to say this is a legitimate business and whatever excuse you made to say this is a business and everything else, you just kind of have to do this. You don't have to, but you'll see what I mean when, like, people constantly keep canceling on you, and then your inventory builds up because nobody's buying. So that's actually another thing. You have to stay. You have to know when to order things because you can't order a ton of items and then nobody buys them because then you're losing money. You have to know when to buy them. So for example, the AirPods, I buy two of them, and then they usually sell out within a week maybe, and then I order a new set. They come in every 2 weeks, so maybe I sell one twice a week. Maybe I sell them once a week, so it's one, and then one next week, and then by then I have a new set of two come in, and so on. So you have to know what item is reliable towards you. Let's say you constantly sell AirPods, so you'd want to order more AirPods constantly. Let's say you know a lot of people that know cologne, so you buy cologne and you keep selling cologne to them. Maybe they like bags, so you constantly sell bags. Maybe they like headphones, you buy headphones, so on. The list goes on. You gotta find a reliable source for you that works well for you, like depending on the people you know and depending on what people want. So I have yet to buy clothes, because I'm scared of losing money. I'm also scared of losing money towards buying shoes sometimes because I'm not sure if they would sell due to all the competition there is. Having the label printer is probably something essential that you would need. Having labels, I guess, is also essential for the label printer because you need them. Packaging. But you can always use the USPS one because you only pay for the shipping fee and the handling fee and the weight fee, obviously. But if you can deal with the weight, um, I'm pretty sure there's websites that make you just pay for the shipping fee. But usually they include a subscription, so you got to be prepared for that. There's always something that you have to be aware of when selling these items. Like I said, you always have to sell them for a little bit cheaper. So I sell these AirPods. I buy 2 for $55. For example, I can sell one for $90, so I can get the $50 back, make $40 in profit. So with the second pair, I'd sell it $180, or what me and my girlfriend do is we sell it at $100 at minimum. Like, every time I've handed out cards or every time we've talked to somebody, it's always been the same situation where if they can't afford it, we can always lower the price, because yet again, I told you I bought those 2 for $50, so I can always lower the price if I sold one for $90. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll think they're getting such a good deal, and when they open their iPhone, it's going to show that it's a legitimate product, and they even have warranty, so everything's going to work. Something that you also may want for this business is a receipt printer. The reason is because people want to know if everything's authentic and real, so you gotta make sure that you gotta make sure you have some proof to it, at least. I don't have one, so maybe that's another part that's difficult. Again, with these Instagram vendors, they'll tell you that their vendors give them receipts. I don't even know if that's true, but honestly, I wouldn't buy it. I don't believe it. I think that's about it. Like, your start of reselling, you just gotta know what to sell. You gotta know how to sell. You gotta know how you want to settle this business and how to be organized with this business. I've done this for 3 months already. The first month was really me and my girl trying to settle for what to buy. Like I said, we used an Instagram vendor at first. When we made the money back, once we made the money back, we found some other website and we found an app, and we just started buying from there, and it worked better. Obviously, there's ups and downs. For example, the bag and the cologne, they're not exactly the best. So I always make sure to use the best that I can find. I'm sorry. So, yeah, like I was saying, once we got the money back, I immediately was able to find a different place to move on and use that to sell. The issue with me with this business is a lot of people say that once you're 16 or once you're 14, you can start this reselling business and it'll go extremely well for you. I want to tell you all right now that that's a lie. In the introduction video, I stated that I've made $1,000 in 14 sales. That is true. But since I have a partner, for example, my girlfriend, it's split in half. So it's actually been 500. But I've set it in total profits, which means $1,000. I'm sorry. So I'm not saying it's bad. Obviously, that's good money if you think about it. I barely do anything. I just order something and I sell it, and in 14 sales, I made $1,000. And this is from me selling at cheap prices. If I'm staring at a price, I'd definitely be making. I would have made 1,000, and my girl would have made 1,000 already. So it's just on how we sell things. But it helps us build customers, and that's how we can get more customers to come in and help us. Not help us, but help us make money. Or I'm sorry, help give us a profit. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to word it. I'm sorry. No, give us. It helps them get an item, I guess. It helps them have more loyalty towards us, and we have more lenient, I guess, cheaper prices for them, I guess. So yeah, maybe you'd want to set up a loyalty system. I don't even know where I'm going anymore with this. That's about it. For example, maybe I know. Okay, that's where I was at, right? How people state that they've made money. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, people state that they make a ton of money. This isn't true, because most of them sell the vendors, quote unquote, and they'll charge you for you to even speak to these vendors or see what their vendors are like, and it's usually going to be like some cheap thing like DHgate or AliExpress, something like that. It's gonna be like that, and you're gonna waste like $20 when you could have just downloaded an app and like found the things yourself. And maybe you think it's better, but honestly, they're giving you like the cheapest thing to help you, like to help them get rid of competition and help them gain money out of you for even trying to start it. So you always gotta be on the lookout for that type of stuff. Them claiming that they make like 6,000 a month, or like those people that claim they buy like $250 worth of AirPods, and it's like, I don't know, a couple hundred of them sitting in a box, and they say that they're gonna make like 2,000 in profit. I would not believe that. I wouldn't buy it because it takes a while to sell things sometimes because of how high competition is. Most of those people might have started early. I'm not hating on the fact that they have money or they claim that they have more money. But as I start this business and many of them claim that they're 16, it's kind of hard to see it because, for example, using apps like Facebook doesn't work for me because I need an ID. And obviously I can ask my parents, but my parents aren't willing to. And I know a lot of parents probably aren't willing to. Same thing with Macari. You need an ID in order to get free shipping labels. Now that's an issue for me because if I did get the free shipping labels, I can easily just use the printer and print them out and ship them out. But now instead I have to ask for their information and I have to get it, and then once I get their information, I ship it out. So you also always just got to be on top of that and careful because you never know. Um, you never know. So that's why when they claim that they're young and like getting this money, sometimes you shouldn't really buy it. And I know a lot of people already tell you this, like not to buy things that, like not to believe everything you see on the internet. But I guess this is a broken record playing, and just don't buy things out of. Just don't believe everything you see on the internet, I guess. I think that's really it. I think this covered everything. I'm not sure if anything else pops up in my head. I'll speak about it in my next video. This is really just to help you guys and to help me deal with like I guess getting used comfortable to speaking, like a little bit like outside. My voice is getting really rough. It's for me to get used to things. It's for me to express how the business goes because sometimes it is rough. Thinking about what to do, and I hope maybe some of you look into these videos and you will help give suggestions, or you will also just take advice that I've done from personal experience. So I would hope that all of this helps. Like I said, I've done 14 sales, and the total money that's coming out of those 14 is $1,000, and this was in the course of 3 months. The first month was really just me and my girlfriend constantly talking about what to do with the business, where to go with it. She really didn't like the idea at first. Now that she sees it more, she actually enjoys it. And she's happy with it, and she's been helping me with certain things because I got banned from Macari and some other apps. So she took over. She basically made her own account for them, and she's been helping me from that type of aspect. So obviously, there's that, and I usually just pay her for when we have to get new orders in because I don't have a credit card and she does, and it's just easier that way for us. It's just the way things work. So the first one was really just you getting set up. Then after that, it's you just thinking about where you want to put the business, what type of risk you want to do, and so on. Because, for example, when I bought the speaker that I don't have anymore, but the bag and cologne that are like obviously fake, it's kind of hard because, like I said, it's not hard when like you don't put yourself under like a quote unquote business name and trying to be professional about things. But when you do put yourself under professional understanding or point of view, you're gonna realize that I kind of messed up now because you're gonna be, let's say, liable if like the item that you sell is fake. Now you know all your items are fake, or they're gonna start suspecting that. And you're gonna. That's why you also need an excuse that can work with you well, because if you make the wrong move, they'll suggest bad things, and if you get the wrong items, they'll also think the bad things. So there's always that to be on top of. Yeah, so that's really been it. And the first month, I think I only had one sale, and then after that, it was just the remaining 13, and I've sold them all. Currently, I can make. I'm selling this for 300. I'm about to sell this for 170. One of them is 90. The other one's 180. And I was selling the cologne for 300. I think I completely forgot. But you can see that once I sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I sell 5 items, I'm like making over 600. I'm sorry, I just added the 300s, the 2 300s, and I know it's over 600. But I don't know. I don't want to do the math. So yeah, I hope to post videos every day, like I stated in the introduction video. But I think that's probably not gonna happen, and it's gonna be maybe 70. No, sorry, I'm stupid. 6 days a week. Because Sundays I usually don't have my phone on me, and so I'm sorry, Sundays I don't have my phone on me, so that's an issue for me wanting to post every day. But I think that is it about how to get started. Then after that, it's more about the cleaning process you have to do towards certain items, how to sell and promote your items. I think I went all over the place for this type of video. That wasn't my goal. I wanted to stick on a subject, but I don't have a script to follow. I should probably make one. I don't have, I don't know, whatever pops up in my head, I'm just kind of stating it, and I know I definitely repeated myself like a couple times in this video, so I don't know how good that is. But I'd hope to help some people with this type of business. And I think maybe these type of businesses do go well. Yet again, this is currently speaking June, as of June, this June. This is my 4th month. Once it's over, I consider them a month because I don't know what month I started in. I don't know what date of I don't know what day of the month. I just know I started on March, I think. So, yeah, the next video is gonna be. I'm gonna tell you where you should probably find items, what type of apps to use. No, I already said what type of apps to use. I'm sorry, I go all over the place sometimes. I think I've covered everything for an introduction, and after this is just me showing how to ship out things, how to use a label printer. I don't even know how to use my label printer. I'd show everybody that's watching this. I'd show all the labels I've ruined, but if I were to show you this, I'd show my address or somebody else's address by accident. But I think I'm on my 3rd roll, and I'm like halfway through, and I have had like no more than like, I've had 14 sales in total, and if I'm on my 3rd roll, and they have like, what is it? I think 2 of them had 100, and then the other one had like 250. So I really run through them because I really don't know how to place them sometimes, and so it just ruins it. But it's kind of fun. No, yeah, I covered everything, and I think that's it. So I hope all of you that are watching this video have a good day today, and enjoy tomorrow if you have a father figure and want to show appreciation to them, because tomorrow's Father's Day. So yeah, Father's Day. So I hope all of you have a happy Father's Day, and that's about it. Thank you. Have a good day.